with the SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is carried out at many levels. SWOT analysis can be carried out at personal level, like you have something you want to do improvement or you want to solve something. At individual level, at team level, at organization level, we can apply SWOT. Does anybody know what is S? What does each of those letters stands for? You can unmute and speak. Okay. So S stands for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunity, and T for threat. So this is a four quadrilateral we can divide. So you put your strength, weaknesses, what are your opportunities, what are your threats. What I want you to do is just Google it, read about it, and sometime we will talk about this. This is a very useful tool. Okay, so just Google and just try to see what it is, how you can use it, and we will discuss some other time. So we'll continue with our uh, planning. Okay, so in the earlier classes we learned about how the management concepts, the thoughts, how it got evolved. Okay, so from classical approach to the modern approach, there were a lot of improvements and lot of changes that were done. And as it is told, management is not like like a fixed rules. Management is like it will keep on changing according to the situations, according to the challenges. Okay, and the first and the foremost important aspects of this is the planning. Okay, the planning stage uh, is very very crucial, and every task or every work that starts, it starts with a planning. Okay, planning is the first stage, and once we have the proper planning, the rest of the things would be very very easy once you have a very good plan. For example, let us say you have a like a piece of land, and you are asked to make a beautiful garden there. So you don't just go randomly with your ad hoc ideas. You go start putting something. You don't do that, isn't it? What you do is like you take that like a particular piece of land, you put it in a proportional map in the paper, and then you will start putting the things. That is a planning. So you will have what kind of a trees will have this corner. There will be children play area, and for elderly there is a walking trail, things like that. So you will put it on the paper first. So you will properly plan it out. You will imagine the finished garden. Okay, even though it is not completed, you will imagine, okay, the complete garden, how it should look like, and you put it on the paper. And one that is called as a planning. So you will think ahead. So even before it is materialized, you will think ahead, and you will put it in place. And once you have those things, then you will start working on that. So planning is very very crucial. Once you have a good planning, then it how it helps. So we are going to see that what is the importance of the planning. If you have proper planning, what are the things it will take care. And also we'll learn there are different types of plannings are there. So we'll look into the that how those plannings are done. One second. Okay, planning is the process of thinking about the activities required to achieve a desired goal. Okay, whatever you want to achieve, you are going to think about it, and you will think about all the activities. So we took the example of a garden. So you'll put it on the place, then you will know what are the activities for children area. So you are making a play area. You will come up with what kind of things will be there. So all those activities you will put together. It is the first and foremost activity to achieve desired results. So whatever the results you want to desire, for all those things, this planning would be the first and foremost activity. It involves the creation and maintenance of a plan. So plan how the plan could be. It could be a, if it is a very small task, you will have a mental plan, or you will not put it together on the paper. If it is a complicated plan, you will put it in a paper. For example, if civil engineer, they build a house, they do a plan, so they will have a blueprint of how the rooms would be, what their dimension. So they will, so it can be like a software related. In case of IT industry, we have the project. If you have heard about the Microsoft project, we use the Microsoft project to put our plan inside that. So this plan could be anything. So but it will, we need to have a plan. We have to create the plan, and we have to maintain in the sense how the things are going according to the plan. You have to have that maintenance is like you have to have that updates on your plan. Planning is the beginning of the process of management. Okay, so as we have already seen, planning is the first process that we encountered in the management. So nature of planning. So what is the nature of planning? A manager must plan before he can possibly organize, staff, direct, or control, because planning sets all other functions into action. So even before we organize, we understood what is organized. We are bringing all the resources together, human resource, material resource, and organizing them. What all things required? For example, garden. What are the things? How many plants you will need? What are the various constructions you have to do inside the particular garden. You will have to organize all those material. Then staff, okay, recruiting the right kind of a people to do your job. Then direct or control means directing them to execute those activities. Before all these things, we have to, manager must do a planning. It can be seen as the most basic function of management. Without planning, the other functions become mere activity, producing nothing but chaos. Okay, so this is the foremost basic function. If you don't have the proper plan, okay, if you don't have the proper plan, then like it is a chaos, in the sense like you don't know how to do things. You will do in an ad hoc manner or a random manner, and the results what you wanted to expect, okay, what you want to have a desired goal, because you are not planned, you will not achieve those goals. This has been called the principle of primacy of planning. Okay, so it shows the primary importance of the planning. Planning is an intellectual process which requires manager to think before acting. So it's a definitely a, it is a intellectual process. How you think about the end result, like how you will achieve. In case of a IT projects, right? IT projects are very complex, so you should be able to visualize how the product would be. Accordingly, you have to put the a plan in place. One second, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so it's a intellectual process. Planning is an intellectual process. It is like thinking in advance, means you are thinking about all the aspects. Okay, and you will also think not only the desired goals, you will also think about the problems that you could encounter. Okay, the risk, we call it as a risk. What are the risks that will be involved? You will try to uh, think about those risks as well, well ahead of the time. It is by planning that managers of our organization decide what is to be done, when it is to be done, how it is to be done, and who is to do it. So it will basically tell about these questions. He will think about, first is what to be done, when it will be done, and how it will be done and who will do it. So basically it talks, when you say what means which objectives you want to fulfill, when you want to, the timeline, when is the timeline, and how means a particular task can be done in different ways, how you will do it, which way you will choose it, and who will do it. Those are the things that are involved in the planning. Decision making is thus an integral part of planning. It is defined as the process of choosing among the alternatives. So, decision making. So, whenever you are working on certain things, you will always have options or the alternatives. Suppose you want to make a table. So, the table, you know the basic structure. Again, then the requirement comes, you want a wooden table, or it is made of a metal, or something else. So always whenever you want to do certain thing, there will be many alternatives. You have to choose the alternatives which suits your requirement. So at every stage when you are doing a planning, you have to make the decision, you have to do the decision. If it is like your budget is fixed, right? When budget is fixed, then according to the constraint, let's say you are, whatever you are trying to do, it has to be done with a fixed budget, means the amount is same, and according to that your focus would be more on not over crossing this budget. Let us say you start a particular work, the focus is on the quality, not on the money. Okay, then your focus is different, right? Your choices are different. When your focus is on the quality, you will try to select the best things, best materials, best staff. So you will try to use the best because you want to have the highest quality. Examples such as manufacturing parts or buying, increase in taxes, hiring or promoting or contracting. So when you are doing all these things, you have to make decisions. Manufacturing parts, whether suppose you have a automobile industry, whether you want to, let's say, particular gear, whether you want to manufacture it or you want to buy it, because your goal is to make a car. So you have two options: you manufacture your own parts or you just buy it from the vendor. So that is the one decision. Increase in the taxes, when there is an increase in the taxes, again he has to make a decision. Hiring or promoting, whether we should hire people from outside or we should promote the people who are working inside, or you want to do the contracting. So all these decisions are based on certain things as per your requirement. So planning is a continuous process. Coons and O'Donnell rightly observe that like a navigator. So planning is like a navigator. It is like it is a continuous process. It is not a fixed process. It is a continuous process. So when you are traveling from one place to another place, right? Your navigator will be showing you the direction. It's a continuous process until you reach the goal. Let us say you deviate from that, so your navigator will recalculate, okay, and it will show the new route. So planning is like that. So you, when you want to reach your goal, it acts like a navigator. Okay, it will keep on showing you whether you are going in the right direction or not. Okay, so manager must constantly monitor the conditions both within outside the organization to determine if changes are required in his plans. It is wiser for him to be right than merely being consistent. Okay, so we know the projects will take some time, at least like 6 months. Okay, it depends on what kind of a project it is. So 6 months, 8 months, okay, 1 year. During that time there will be a changes that will be happening inside the organization as well as the outside the organization. Those changes will have impact on the projects or the work that is being carried out. Manager has to be a very thoughtful person to accommodate those changes so that his work is not impacted. Plan must be flexible. Okay, so this is flexibility is very important because we know that the environment keeps on changing, internal as well as external. So plan should be able to flexibly change according to, it should be thought in that way. Okay, when we are planning, we have to plan in such a way it has to be a flexible. Okay. By flexibility of a plan is meant its ability to change direction, to adapt to changing situation without undue cost. Okay. So the changes will cost, but you have to have your plan in such a way with the minimum cost you should be able to change. Because circumstances change, it is simple common sense that a plan must provide for as many contingencies as possible. It needs to possess built-in flexibility in at least five major areas, namely technology, market, finance, personal, and organization. So planning, when we are planning, it should be able to take care of the contingencies. Contingencies are like some you can predict, some you cannot predict. For example, some of the things you can predict is, for example, if it is cloudy outside, okay, so and you want to do certain work, you have to go out. So if it is a cloudy, there is a possibility of rain, so you can predict that you can carry a umbrella whether it rains or not. So that is your part of your plan. So that is things like that, so which you can predict. And there are certain things which you cannot predict. For example, government policies, they keep on changing. You cannot predict government policies, how the government policies will come. So there are certain things that are manageable. Okay, so we call them as a risk or the contingencies. For the risk, there would be a risk plan. If you talk about the IT project, we identify the risk, all the risks that could come in the near future, which the management can think of. And for all those risks, there will be a contingency plan. So for each risk, there will be contingency plan. If this risk occurs, this is the plan. For example, now a new situation is the COVID. So all the IT projects are 90% of the IT projects, they are being carried out without any halt. People are working from home. That is how they use the remote capabilities. Okay, so that is the one of the contingencies, right? To take care of that contingency, remote work plan. That is the plan for that. Okay, and when we have such a plan, it should take care of, it should be flexible enough to at least cater major five areas. One is the technology. So when you are developing something, the technology might change or it become obsolete, okay, based on the timing. So you should be able to take care of that technology aspects. And in IT projects, this is very very relevant. Okay, the technology keeps on changing. Okay, and according to that technology, the project should be the plan should be flexible enough to accommodate that. And market will be changing, market conditions will be changing. So today it is a you might be having a good market. Because of the situation, certain situation, the market conditions will change. And finance is like your plan, the rights. Let's say like you are working on certain project with a certain amount of loan or something. It should be capable enough to upgrade or degrade on the finance aspect. Okay, based on the because these are the external things which will vary, or the interest rates might change, which is not suitable for your finance. So your plan, you should plan in such a way that you should be able to absorb those changes. Personal people might leave the organization. Okay, so to take care of those, you should be, your plan should be flexible enough. And the organization itself, the changes in the organization itself, it should be able to absorb. Flexibility in technology means the mechanical ability of a company to change and vary its products mix according to the changing needs of the customer. This is one example. So if it is like for changing the product mix, so certain product is there, due to changes in the technology, you should be able to come up with a different kind of a product. Flexibility in market means the company's ability to shift its marketing geographically. The company should be able to penetrate into unserved areas as and when there is a sudden spurt of demand in those areas. So this is the market means, let us say they, it should be flexible enough to change the geographies. For example, like you are a car maker, it's an automobile industry, and in India and in most of the Asian countries, the driving is on the left side of the road. So the steering and all those control things would be on the right side of the car. But unlike in North American countries, the driving is on the right side of the road. So the steering would be on the left hand side. So let us say you are in future you are planning to move your businesses from Asia geography to the America geography. So you should be capable enough to make the this changes, right? This is a drastical change in how your car being manufactured. You should be able to accommodate that. Flexibility in finance means the company's ability to obtain additional funds on favorable terms whenever there is a need for them. Okay. Flexibility in personnel means company's ability to shift individuals from one job to another. So this could be shifting people, or when people are leaving, how well we can replace them. All those things are is concerned in the personal plan. Flexibility in organization means the company's ability to change its organization structure. So with the organization change in the organization structure, the plan should be flexible enough to take care of that particular changes. Okay. However, flexibility is possible only within limits. So you cannot have a plan which is highly flexible. So there are limitations. Okay. It is almost invariably true that it involves extra costs. Sometimes it may be expensive. Its benefits may not be worth the cost. So um, whenever you are talking about the flexible means you have to change little bit, that will come at additional cost. Okay. And sometimes that cost might be very high, and that is not a good option, because the benefits that it will yield compared to the expenses, it would be very less. So those possibilities are there. And most cases are irretrievable costs already incurred in fixed assets, training, advertising, etc. may block flexibility. So there are certain things already you have incurred those cost. Okay. And changing that, for example, we have the railway flyover. That particular route is already planned earlier, and they have invested a lot of money in all the construction activities and building columns. And let us say there is a change tomorrow. Okay. They want to make because of some XYZ reason, if they want to change the angle or the length, it would be difficult because they have already spent money on the certain things. Okay. In case of IT, it could be on training. You have trained the resources, you have spent on advertising, things like that. So there is a certain limitation on the flexibility also. In other words, planning is important to all managers, regardless of their level in the organization. So you can, now you can foresee what kind of problems we can incur into if we don't plan well. Some of the cost that is incurred will become a waste. So it will be like a waste of money if there is no proper planning. There are differences in involvement by managers at different levels. So planning, when we talk about the planning, the top management, they spend lot of time on the planning activities, and we come down the ladder. Okay. The lower level management, they spend more time in implementing those plans. Okay. Rather than spending lot of time on the planning. So top management, they spend a lot of time on planning, making strategies. And as it goes down the ladder of the management, those managers are more focused on implementing those plans. Top level managers are generally concerned with longer time periods. Okay. And the amount of time that top management spends on planning is very very high. Okay. Their predominant focus is on the planning. And the lower level management, it spends a very little time on planning, it spends more time in executing those plans. Much of their planning involves activities that will take place in 6 months to 5 years or even after that. Lower level managers are more concerned with the planning activities for a day or a week or a month. So lower level management, they are just planning the day's work or a week's work or the month's work. And the top level managers, they are thinking how they are planning on how the company should be in 6 months, in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years. So their plannings will be for a very longer duration. Normally those are called as a strategies. The first line supervisors, for example, plan the work activities for their people for the day. So first line supervisors, they make sure that whatever the daily activity that is planned for that day is carried out. Lower managers are not responsible for predicting sales levels, ordering materials to produce products 6 months in the future. So lower level managers, they are not involved in predicting the sales or predicting anything else, ordering the material, things like that. Okay. Second major difference concerns the time spent on planning. So I told you the time spent on the planning is very high by the top management and it is very low by the lower management. Top managers generally spend more time, okay, on planning. They are more concerned with the establishing objectives and developing plans to meet those objectives. Lower level managers are more involved in executing these plans. Okay, so what are the importance of planning? Okay, importance of the planning is, first thing is the minimize the risk and uncertainty. Okay, these are the why we have to do the planning. So why planning is important? Because it minimizes the risk and uncertainty. So whatever the risk that is going to have on our project, which will make it to fail. So by having a proper plan, we can minimize the effect of those risks, and there is a higher chance of success. So if you have a good plan, it leads to success, so there is a higher chance of success. Focuses attention on the organization goals. So whatever the goals the organization has set, it helps in focusing on those particular goals, or you will be working in line with the organization goals. Facilitates control. Okay, when you have the proper plan, the plan gives the proper control. Means the plan itself, you can use it as a control. Means everything work is going according to the plan, then you will sure that at the end of the plan, so in the plan you are thought about 6 months, at the end of 6 months you will be finishing your product. Okay, if there is any deviation, you will take corrective action. That is how it gives the proper planning, gives the control in the sense, if it is a deviating, then we can bring it back to the on the track, so that it will be completed according to the timelines that is set. Trains executives. So it also trains the executive. By having a proper plan, we can all the executives can be trained how planning can be done. So we will have lot of trained executives. First one is minimizes the risk and uncertainty. Without planning, business decisions would become random ad hoc choices. I told you, if you don't plan, then it is like a ad hoc basis. Just you, suppose you want to run a marathon, example, just you start running every day. You start running. Okay, whether you will be able to run the marathon, we don't know, because it's a random act. You start running is the major aspect of the marathon. But the marathon, whatever the length you are going to run, that is huge. You have to plan it properly. The way you have to change your strategy, how you can keep yourself running. So like the food changes, things like that, that's a proper plan. You sit first, you put everything. Every day I'm going to run this, let's say these many kilometers, then after a week I will increase this much, and so on. So that is how you will put a plan, and you will start executing that plan. So if you just start running, you never know whether you will be able to run or not. So that how it shows, if it should not be random or on ad hoc basis. Four concrete reasons for the paramount importance of the planning functions are as follows. Okay, minimizes the risk uncertainty in today's increasingly complex organization. So we talked about that. uh, by providing a more how we can minimize the risk by providing more rational fact based procedure for making decision. So you are making a decision not ad hoc based on some rational information or some facts, means you have some statistics. Okay, it can be historical statistics. Based on that you are making a decision. Planning allows managers and organization to minimize risk and uncertainty. Planning helps the managers to cope up with the and prepare for the changing environment. So if you have a proper plan, you can easily cope up with the changes in the environment, and accordingly you can prepare. Planning does not deal with future decisions, but with the futurity of present decisions. So you have to remember, uh, uh, planning doesn't involve any future decisions. Okay, planning involve the present decisions based on the future conditions. Okay, that is the most important. You think like in future this could happen, and according to that you are planning today, or making decisions today. The manager has a feeling of being in control if he is anticipated, if he has anticipated some of the possible consequences and has planned for them. Okay, so uh, the manager will feel very comfortable if he has anticipated all the possible consequences that can happen, and for those consequences you have put the plan today. So if a manager anticipates some of the resources are very very important, and let us say there is only one person who is very very important, and rest are not that important, then it is a risk. The manager should think that if there is a 1% dependency, later if that 1% one person leaves the organization, then it would be difficult for the project work. So normally what happens, they should understand such risk, and they should train others to do that kind of work. We should not create a like a bottlenecks. It is through planning that the manager relates the uncertainties and possibilities of tomorrow to the facts of today and yesterday. So uh, the manager will relate the uncertainties and the possibilities of tomorrow to the facts of today. So thinking about tomorrow, he will put in facts today in his plan. So leads to success. If you have a good plan, there is a higher chance of success. Planning does not guarantee success. Okay, but studies have shown that often things being equal chance favors the prepared mind. Companies that plan not only outperform the non-planners but also outperform their own past results. So planning will not guarantee a success, but there is a higher chance, okay, a project being successful if there is a prepared mind. If it is a prepared mind, in the sense you have a proper plan. And also the stats have shown that the company which has a proper plan, either it is more successful and or it is outperforming its past records. If it is a non-planner, then definitely it is a like a success rate is very less. Planning leads to success by doing beyond mere adaptation to market fluctuation. With the help of a sound plan, management can act proactively and not simply react. So this is very important word, react. React is there is two words. One is react, one is respond. React is suppose when you are in a situation, let us say something happens, somebody says something to you, immediately you get angry and you react, right? So because you are not prepared. Let us say you are prepared, there can be some situation where you might get into such situation when people will say something to you. That time you will be prepared, thinking that the situation may arise. Then you have a pre-planned thing in your mind. So that time you respond without getting angry, you will respond. So that is the importance, where proper planning, we don't have to react to the situation. Okay, here they are calling a situation of a market fluctuation. So manager need not react, he can respond if he is prepared. Focuses our attention on the organization's goals. So it helps in focusing the attention on the organization goals. Planning helps the manager to focus attention on the organization's goals and activities. This makes it easier to apply and coordinate the resources of the organization more economically. So it can be more economical with respect to the resources. The whole organization is forced to embrace identical goals and collaborate in achieving them. So each and every organization, they have goals. All the departments, all the projects in that particular organization, they align themselves with the goal, and that is how with a proper plan we can go with the organization goals, and we can implement organization goals and improve upon it. It also enables the manager to check out in advance on orderly sequence of steps for the realization of the organization's goals and to avoid needless overlapping of activities. So if you have proper plan, then you will have the sequence of work. As I told, your plan can be just on a paper. It can be as a you can use some software tools. Okay, where you can have a sequence of steps and there is no overlapping. So you will be able to clearly see all the activities, how they are going, what can be in parallel. Okay, things like that. Facilitates control. In planning, the manager sets goals and develops plans to accomplish these goals. These goals and plans then become standards or benchmarks against which performance can be measured. So the same goals, when we are work along with them, and the plans what we are using, they become the standards or benchmark for the organization, and we can check the performance against those measurements. The function of control is to ensure that the activities conform to the plans. Thus, controls can be exercised only if there are plans. So, as I said before, it will ensure a function of control will come into picture when we have the a proper plan. So, in the proper plan, we will have the activities, all the activities, their timeline. If something is not getting done in that, we can exercise our control mechanism to check what is happening and take corrective action. Trains executive. Planning is also an excellent means for training executives. They become involved in the activities of the organization, and the plans arouse their interest in the multifarious aspects of the planning. So they will be, we will have a lot of executives who will be trained on the planning. Okay, so that is the importance of the planning. There are different types of planning. In general, like a short-term plan, mid-term plan, long-term plan, or the strategy. There are various other ways people have classified the plans. In large organization, there are various types of plans that are arranged in a hierarchy within the organization. This means that plans at each level have to be consistent with and contributive to the achievement of plans above them as shown in figure. Okay, so each of these plans will achieve the higher plan. Suppose I have just now I told the short term plan, mid term plan, and the long term plan. The you have certain long term plan. So let us say long term plan, your IT company wants to be the number one company in a certain region. So that is a long term plan. Mid-term plan will assist, will have such activities which will assist in meeting this long term plan. So similarly, your short term plans will assist in the achieving mid-term and the long term. So the plans will achieve the above level plans. So here is the diagram. So for your syllabus, it is a fourth edition. In the fourth edition, they have not included vision and mission. So it starts from the objective. So just for your knowledge sake, please refer to the fourth edition. Okay, in the whatever is in the fourth edition, you can include that. And even if you write all these things in the exam, these are the additional things. So it is a good to have. So every organization has a vision, Vision is like global. I just now I told certain company wants to be global leader in say data science or machine learning or artificial intelligence. That is a vision. To meet that vision, we will have mission statements. So you can just Google what is vision and mission. So mission will help in achieving the vision of the organization. So you create objectives. So there will be a lot of objectives. Those objectives will meet the mission. Okay, so you have objectives created, and by achieving all these objective, we will achieve the all the mission. By achieving the mission, we'll achieve the vision. And to meet these objectives, we come up with the strategies. So by coming up with these strategies and implementing those strategies, we will meet the objectives. And we will make lot of operational plans to make strategies. Okay, we come up with the management comes up with a lot of strategies. To meet those strategies, it will come up with the operational plans. Operational plans is the one which can be executed. So operational plans can be of two different types. One is a non-repetitive activities and for repetitive activities. So most of the time when you are doing certain work, it might be repeated in the future or it may not be. So it is just a one time. So those one time non-repetitive, we call it as a single use plans. Okay, programs and budgets. Normally budget is done only once, okay, a year. Okay, that budgeting activity is repeated next year. The budget, even the government of India, when they present the budget, it is for the certain calendar year. So they propose the budget. It is a we call it as a single use plans. And if the certain things are repetitive, then we call it as a standing plans. Okay, what are the standing plans? Policies, company policies. So company policies, those will be like it is implement these policies will be used many times. Okay, and similarly procedures, methods, rules and regulations. So you VTU, they come up with the rules and regulations. So every year everybody follows those things. So those are first they will sit and make those rules. That is a one time activity, and they come up with a plan which will be used repetitive. Certain other plans which will be used only once, they will not be repeated. Okay, the first one is I told you like for fourth edition, it starts from the objectives. We'll understand what is objectives. Okay, yeah, objectives are goals or aims that the management wishes the organization to achieve in pursuit of its mission. Okay, so there is a purpose and the objective. So objectives are very specific. We will look into that in the next class. Objective, when you start certain work, you have to start with the objective. Let us say you for if you see your syllabus for all the subjects, you have the syllabus. Before giving that syllabus, there is a objective. Let's say C programming, we put the objective. After putting the objective, to meet those objective, we have the syllabus, which is a plan what we will cover. Okay, so objective is like student will learn the basic structure of the programming. Then he will learn the control statements, looping statements, will be able to write complex programs, things like those are the objectives. According to objective, we will have the plan. Similarly, in our organization, we will have the objectives, and according to the objectives, we put in the plan. Okay, we will continue with